Another fire transition by E. Shout out E.
So good. So good every time.
So good.
Who did I take last week? East or West? You got to take the East, man. You gotta
AQ, how you doing, bro? Good to see you, man.
You did West because of Paolo.
You got
Paolo.
to take the East.
I'll take the East here, man. So the East, man, what we got going on, man? Top 3 in the East, man. We'll give an honorable mention to the top 5, but the top 3 teams right now battling it out, man. Cleveland Cavaliers, man, they're 17-1. They lost that game to the Celtics and have not looked back, ladies and gentlemen. Another team up there, rightfully so, they're still playing like the champions they are, man, is the Celtics with a 15-3 record right now. You can't complain there. But the team to be the most shocking in the top 5, I would say even in the top 5, maybe even top 7, is my Orlando Magic, man. They are playing amazing ball. They lose one to the Clippers, go on a 4-game win streak again. I mean, they're sitting at 12-7. They're playing really good basketball. We'll get into them in a minute.
Yeah, then you got to say that, but I also, are you saying like most shocking across the board or just in the East?
No, I think across the board it would be for me.
I think there's one team in the West that's a little bit more shocking of why they're there, because I really don't have a reason yet. But
well, I mean, I'm talking about my team because star players are out, and players that haven't realistically been playing good basketball and that are young are all of a sudden turning into like superstars right in front of our eyes. Like, it's fucking awesome. Like, it's really cool basketball to watch.
Let's save it because I have a really, really good point to make during the Magic talk.
He's got some gravy.
At 4, the Knicks at 10-7, and then at 5, the Heat at 7-7. So, got some good basketball, man. It's getting exciting. I love watching. If I miss a game, I go back and watch the highlights, man. I love watching the Magic highlights, man. The defense is always in the top highlights of something. Good steals, transition basketball. All right, let's save it for the Magic segment.
Please do.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about the East real quick. The Bucks, those Bucks that we were talking about in the first or second week, how low they were. They're 6th right now, 8-9. Coming back. They're back in contention. Wizards are now the dead last team in not only the East but in the NBA. 2 for 13.
Shout out to the Utah Jazz.
And then those terrible Sixers that we were talking about last week have won 1 game since then. They're 3.
I want to listen, 76ers fans, man, get in here, talk to us, man. Get in here, please talk to us. We're not trying to trash them. I'm not watching 76er games. I'm just not. I don't have enough time in my day. I have a full-blown profession. I have children. I coach football. Like, I have too much stuff going on in my life. Why? Maybe I just need to do a week where I just dive into them and see what's going on. What is going on with the 76ers? On paper, that team should be in the top 5.
Maybe we should talk about it next week and really try to
do a little dive in it. All right, I feel that.
That'll be the focus next week.
I'm in agreement. Like I have no idea why you guys are so bad. Is it just injuries and like timing? Is it too early to say you're bad? Because 3 for 13, I mean, you played damn near 20 games and you're horrible. So I don't know. Let's move to the West. The Warriors are now in the 2nd spot because the Thunder have reclaimed that first spot, 13-4.
They're playing great ball. They're playing really hot ball.
They're the Orlando Magic of the West.
Ooh. Okay.
The Warriors are in 2nd, 12-5. They're only one loss behind the Thunder and 1 win away. The most shocking to me is not the Magic. It is the Rockets that are 12-6 and 3rd in the West. That's a shocker. And right behind them is obviously the Lakers. Lakers are 10-6. I mean, there's no reason to panic. It's just like they could be even better. Thoughts? I have some notes about the rest of the West, but
For sure. Hey, Bill, how you doing? I see you in the chat there. We appreciate you, Bill.
No, I agree. I didn't even. Yeah, the Rockets. That's definitely a surprising one to me, especially looking at that roster. Probably playing just really good basketball again. It's one of those teams I haven't really watched, so it's definitely somebody we should probably take a little dive into and really read into them and see what's going on, because that is very interesting being in the top 3 right now. And I get it, it's early basketball, but hey, man, we're talking about it here, and it's interesting and seeing how everything's shaking up. And I mean, Pelicans at dead last is no surprise.
Yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. The Pelicans are dead last. They are 4-14. Like, again.
So I did see that. That's a very hot take right now. Do you all think that it's time for the Pelicans to move on from Zion?
Probably.
Or is it Zion? Is it time for Zion to move away from the Pelicans? Because what had the Pelicans done to help him?
Nothing.
Well, I mean, I think about those the last couple of seasons where I don't know if it's 100% true, but of course everybody heard about it, the weight clause in Zion's contract. And I mean, it's like he goes through the off season and he gets really fit, and then the season starts and he's back to that shape that you're just like, he's still explosive and he's still great, but is he able to play 48 minutes? No. Is his body perfectly healthy every season? No. So
I'll never forget watching that college game where he exploded out of his sneakers. Insane.
Yeah, well, he's a freak.
I still remember that 360 dunk he had at Duke, and it was just insane.
Yeah. He was explosive in college. I don't know what happened to him.
Under Mike Krzyzewski, he was beast mode.
He's still explosive. That's the thing. It's just
can't stay healthy.
I mean, the Pelicans are not going to do anything special for him if we're being real. The Pelicans didn't do anything special for Anthony Davis when he was there.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he went to the Lakers.
So with that being said, where can you see a potential landing spot for him?
Oh, that's such a huge thought.
It is a huge thought, because how much money is he worth, right? Because now you got to start thinking about how much are these teams willing to pay for a guy that's, I'm not saying that he's played bad, but he hasn't played great basketball. His weight is the issue, like Damian says. His consistency to stay on the court is another issue. So do you overpay for somebody like that? Do you give him a test contract, like a year contract, like the NFL does?
He just signed a 5-year deal last year for 197.2.
Yeah, no, they're screwed.
Taking on a huge cap if he goes anywhere.
It's because the Pelicans can't really hold a gun to him. I mean, what are they going to tell him? Like, we don't want to? For what? Then you have nothing. Zero, zilch. Like, you can't go anywhere. And it's not like you're doing special now, but you really won't be special after.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't see a landing spot where you get something so significant that it makes a change.
Yeah, and speaking of, it looks like he's not anywhere near returning to gameplay. He's gonna be out another maybe 4 or 5 weeks to the Magic. Could you imagine if that was the case? Mark my words. If he came to Orlando, I would buy season tickets immediately.
That would be interesting.
Magic.
You did that really well, buddy.
Yeah, that was really good, actually.
I hope you have that ready for our segment. That should be the official start of the Magic segment.
I agree. Actually, in my notes, the segment is called Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. Like
with the little notes.
It's like just in my head. Timberwolves, number 11th in the West, 8-8. What the hell happened?
Right.
I watched the whole breakdown of that. They were talking like their locker room is in shambles. Like are arguing on the court. There was a blatant time where I can't remember the 2 players. I want to say Randall was involved, but I can't remember who had the rock. But they blatantly ignored him. Like he was wide open underneath the basket. And he just didn't. And they even talked about it after the game was over. And they were like, yeah, we squashed it now. But they were literally having a beef in the middle of a fucking game. It's just something's not like you had Ant yelling at what's the center's name?
Gobert. Can't
They were going back and forth because He literally stood in the paint for 3 seconds and was just moving too slow and got the call.
Oh
So
yeah, I
Ant
saw
was yelling
that
at him
because he got mad because he didn't get the ball. Yep.
Yeah, so they're literally arguing, walking down the court in the middle of the game.
No,
So
seriously,
it's a lot of locker room, like the chemistry's bad, and they were also talking about their defense year over year because they couldn't keep some of their people. Their defense year over year is a lot more points, and that was the one thing that held them there.
Shout out to the Wizards, bro. They're about to be with another loss. Current game playing right now, Bulls versus the Wizards. Bulls are winning 61-40. Bulls are winning 61-47 in the start of the third quarter. Bucks are playing the Heat. They're currently beating the Heat 30-18. It's just about the end of the first quarter, so got some basketball going on. I'll keep you guys updated throughout the night.
Man, at least you know what? At least DC has the Capitals playing good right now.
Hey, yeah, we got the Ravens. Come on now, we got the Commanders. We got some good things going on in Maryland.
Commanders, really?
They're still better than the Cowboys.
Really?
One loss.
I know that. Okay,
they win a fucking game, and now he's
oh. Hey, whoa! Time out.
I am over here.
I'm still have my head dangling, but you know what? We'll get into it. Save it for later. Save it for our NFL.
Keep that head dangling.
I do want to talk about the Suns, the Nuggets, the Mavericks, the Spurs in that order: 7, 8, 9, 10. They are all. If the season ended today, they are all in the play-in tournament.
Yeah, looking at the middle of that like pack of the West, there's just a huge clump right there.
It is.
The West is kind of a huge clump.
It's a little sporadic right now. I mean, the East is exactly what you expected.
Right. It's more predictable.
The Magic being so good, like the Magic are probably the anomaly in the East. But I mean, wow, Suns, Nuggets, those are really surprising to be middle tier teams.
I wouldn't say. Would you want them higher? Is what you're trying to say?
The Nuggets, especially the Nuggets.
I think the Nuggets should be higher, but you also got to remember their KD list, the Suns.
I know, and they get them back tonight. Actually, funny enough, they're playing the Lakers. KD and Bradley Beal are coming back tonight.
Wow.
So we'll see where they're at then at that point. But it just goes to show once you're down big players, can they compete? Not like Orlando Magic.
Yeah,
we'll get into that, man.
To throw that in there.
I had to throw it in.
But I will say that doing the research about the Nuggets and stuff, they obviously lost some key components. They haven't been able to keep their players since their championship run. True. But at the same time, though, it's like you have two stars that should be still carrying the weight, and obviously one is, but the other one's not doing anything.
Well, yeah, Jokic just came back from having a baby, so congratulations to him. Mm-hmm. And let's be real here. Jamal Murray has never been the type of player to play like a really, really like notable, noteworthy season.
Right.
It's when the playoffs come around that he turns into this different animal altogether. So I don't think if you're a Nuggets fan, you really panic at this point. But like, it is a little strange to see them in the 8th spot. You would expect them to be top 5, especially how good they've been. They have the Lakers number, that's for damn sure. The Lakers cannot beat them to save their life. It's a little shocking, a little surprising.
For sure. Well, it's still early. Like we always say, it's still pretty early right now.
This is very early.
Lots of basketball to be played.
First 20 game look right now.
Absolutely. You know what I'm looking forward to? I want to look at the Christmas slate. I don't know. Is there going to be a big Christmas? Yeah, there's a big Christmas slate. I always look forward to watching basketball on Christmas. Even though we have 2 NFL games this year, I always look forward to watching some basketball on Christmas.
Yeah,
it's always a special game.
It's going to be on Netflix, so it'll take about 5 hours to watch one game.
Got that right. Jesus Christ.
Are we all good with the team standings?
Yeah.
Makes sense right now. I mean, like you said, shout out to the Magic. They're just playing hot ball without Wendell, without Paolo right now.
Paolo.
It's true.
Paolo.
Well, I would like to. If you do, you want to jump into the Magic, or can I talk about a young star right now?
Go for it, young star.
Let's talk about LaMelo Ball.
Let's go ahead.
Now
and
let me read you these numbers, and then I'll give you some things behind it. The last 3 games for LaMelo Ball. His last game was versus the Magic. They lost. 44 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists on 17 of 30 shooting. Versus the Bucks, he had 50 points, 5 rebounds, 10 assists on 17 of 38 shooting. And they lost. Versus the Pistons, he had 35 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 12 of 27 shooting. They won that game in overtime. LaMelo's phenomenal right now. Right?
I saw him hit a step back jumper 3, and that shit was beautiful.
Yeah. Did I send you? I think I sent you that clip. Yeah.
You might have. Yeah. Yep.
LaMelo has Batase on him. What was that? Are you kidding me? Play that the way they wanted to.
Look at this, LaMelo. Look at the dance right here. Batase's like, okay, will you shoot?
What a crafty move.
That was disgusting.
Full body fake without the ball in your hand is crazy.
No, that was beautiful.
You know what I like is he's got some pretty fire kicks.
That is true too. But I mean, the man is hooping on the season. He's got 31 points, 5.1 rebounds, 6.9 assists. The problem is, like, the Hornets are 12.
With the Hornets.
The Hornets are 12th in the Eastern Conference. They're 6 for 11.
He's with the Hornets. That's the problem. It's unfortunate.
They're 24th in points per game. They're 5th in rebounds per game, which is phenomenal, by the way. How does that happen? 27th in assists per game, and 19th in opponents' points per game.
Not good stats. Like,
for me, just like I look at the roster and I don't see depth. I don't see like crazy depth. No truly notable names. The team is young. LaMelo is 23 years old, and he is leading this team. Guys, what do they do? What do they do to help this man who's right now he's on a tear?
Is he still on his rookie contract, or did he get a bag already?
I don't.
LaMelo's 23, so he's probably on his rookie contract still.
Yeah, because he would still be 4 years in. He's in his 4th season.
Yeah.
So the problem is are the Hornets going to do anything for him? Like, it's cool. You can put up all these numbers and you can do all this stuff. Are they going to do anything for him, or does he need to leave in order to chase that covenant ring? Because are the Hornets going to be the next Pelicans?
Should we ask the owner of the Hornets?
Yes. Get him on the phone.
Do you know who it is?
Yes, I know who it is.
Okay. So what is that guy going to do to help this young star? Or does he need to leave? Go somewhere else?
Like, why'd you ask? Hold on, I want to ask a question.
I just want to be an asshole.
Why'd you ask like that? Like, it's his fault. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to be an asshole.
He got a great piece. He got a great piece.
No, he did. It's great.
It's like a gem right there. I don't think he's going to let it go that easy.
But you have to get these rest of these pieces in line. Like, you got to get him some help because this kid, he is hooping. I don't mind him taking 30 shots a game, but should he have to? Absolutely not.
His arm be hurting after.
I mean, to score 50, he shot 38. And then the next game, he shoots another 30. Like, he shouldn't have to take so many shots. That's why his points are so high, because he's the only one out there scoring.
Right.
Are they drawing big crowds?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Not at a Hornets game.
They were on a 4-win game. They were on a 4-game home win streak. Now, it wasn't in a row, obviously, but every time they've played at home, they've won for 4 games. They've won 4 games in a row until they played us.
Yeah.
So let's get into the Orlando Magic.
Let's talk about the Orlando
Good transition.
Magic. Hello,
Orlando Magic.
Oh, we still love you.
let's talk about the Orlando Magic, man. Cue the music. Orlando Magic.
Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic.
All right, nah, man. So since our last episode, man, we have gone 3-1. We lost to the Clippers, but we beat the Lakers, Pistons, and Hornets. A good Lakers team that was
Lakers
on the tear.
Finish was
a decent Pistons team. You know, not a team that we talk about a lot, but they put up a fight. Everybody they play. I mean, the Pistons are sitting at 9 right now, but that's because of the loss they took to us, and but they played really good ball. And then a streaky Hornets team. And people can say what they want, man.
Love the phone call.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, shout out Coach's wife.
We're about to start our acapella group. We're gonna be called "Fuck the Pentatonics."
We should just be called the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
No, you got to give credit to the Magic. Beating the Lakers was obviously, it's not an upset because the Orlando Magic are that good. Like they're
that team right now.
Teams in check. It's great. Detroit's not, like you said, they're middle class, but they're not a bad team. They're good at keeping teams in check as well. They kind of give them a hassle. They usually end up losing, but they give them a hassle. And then the Hornets, I mean, LaMelo, like I just said, 40,
yeah,
but the only one out there doing something.
Yeah.
So
you sleep on them, they'll beat you.
Absolutely.
I think you should play that clip real quick. Just to play the last minute of that Laker game was insane. It was insane. It's no shot to my boy down here. It's just it was an insane last, that is the definition of never giving up. That is the definition of never quitting. That is the definition of keep going until the bell hits 0, till the ringer hits 0, till the clock hit, to the ringer, whatever you want to call it.
Buzzer.
Well, I know that. I'm just saying there's just so many terms you can use.
The ringer.
But until it hits 00, you play and roll that clip.
Can't do it. Don't bat it away, but right into the hands of Austin Reeves. He'll get it. 1 of 2 at the line for Jalen. Everybody stands. Final minute. Can the Magic get another stop? Isaac defending LeBron James. Anthony Davis back to LeBron. Shot clock down to 5. Bataze on James. James drives. Poked away. Falls to the floor. 2 free throws coming for LeBron.
We're going to call the foul on Jonathan Isaac.
Therefore, the coach's challenge is unsuccessful. Orlando will lose their timeout.
Last night against the Clippers.
Now still with 17 turnovers. You get your miss. He's 1 of 3 at the line, make it 2 of 4. He'll get it into Franz Wagner. Looking for help. Trying to get a little room. Step back 3 is up. Oh, it's right on line, but he couldn't hit it. Fought for by Suggs. Out of bounds on the Magic.
MVP chance a little bit.
First free throw is up. No good. Back rim. Lakers with 2. Second free throw is up. That one in. Gotta get a basket. Franz Wagner, he'll get you 2. It's a 2-point game. 20 seconds to go. And it's Magic get a steal. High up top to Davis. He lost his footing. First one is up. Rims out. Second free throw up, back rim. Magic get the rebound. They can tie or win the game.
Go for the win. Go for the win, Franz Wagner.
On the road, go for the W. Let's see, Franz Wagner surveys the landscape. Looking for help. Shot clock down to 5. He's going to go for the win. Shot is up. Franz Wagner Slater. Fantastic. Turnaround jumper is up and no good, and that'll do it.
Shoo-wee.
Hey, let's talk about this real quick. First of all, LeBron should have never drove in. LeBron didn't need to drive in. At that point, hold it for that final second and just take a 3. Let the ball bounce on the rim. Anthony Davis go grab it. Then you can reset the shot clock. Instead of going in there. And It's not even a bad move. I don't mind you going to the bucket and getting 2 free throws. But if you're going to miss one and make the other, and then all the opportunities Anthony Davis just fucking had and blew all of them.
Crazy.
And then he's the one who takes the final shot.
Anthony Davis, the foul on Anthony Davis where who was it? Suggs was in front of him going in for the rebound. How did Suggs get called for a rebound when he was in front of him going for the rebound? Makes no sense. No sense. But no, nevertheless, man, Franz Wagner, man. God dang, bro. Just the delicate touch that he has for being 6'10", I think it is, and just playing the way he's playing, it is so awesome to watch, man. With the game being said, I'm going to talk about the last game we just played against the Hornets. It was not a pretty game. I watched the highlights. I watched some of the actual game. I watched up to the second quarter. It's just not. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't a pretty win, but man, we played it and we played it really well. Franz Wagner had 21 points. Cole Anthony had 16. Mo Wagner had 16. Anthony Black with 10, and Isaac with 11. My biggest concern with the team right now, honestly, it's Isaac. We paid him a lot of money, Jonathan Isaac. He's down from his points last year, his average. If I was going to highlight or circle somebody, it's him. Now, he sat in a corner and he made 4 3-pointers, which was beautiful. Mm-hmm. But he was 4 for 14.
Ugh.
Yikes.
4 for 14. So that if I was to go and be like, man, we just paid this kid $84 million. He got out of his rookie contract. He got $84 million. He is down in points right now. So that is my only big concern with the team. As far as other than that, man, I mean, you got Anthony Black, man. He's playing the ball. It's just he's fun to watch. He's flying around. He's that kid that's going to come from behind you and just tap the ball right out of you and then take it and run and score. Like he's just flying around the court so aggressive, and it's just and then at the end he has like this soft touch to just let the ball in. He's fun to watch, just like Franz Wagner. The team, I purely enjoyed just watching them. You stop a Hornets team on a 4-game win streak at home. Not much else to say.
Can I give you a really interesting statistic? And this speaks volumes for how you've been preaching about your Magic team all year. Hear me out. 27th in points per game. All right?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty bad. 24th in rebounds per game. Kind of rough.
Does it get better?
22nd in assists per game. Right? Now, if you take that surface level and you look at it, you're like, there's no way this team is third in the Eastern Conference. Right? They are first in opponents' points per game, which means they are the best team at keeping opponents under, well, the number is 102 points per game. That is why they're winning basketball games, because their defense, and you spoke about it all the time, and I got to give you props because that is literally statistically the reason they are winning.
Defense wins championships.
Yeah.
And that is the exact note I have is defense wins championships.
Yep. Hey, listen, and they're ranked. I don't know if you said this. Sorry, my wife was behind the scenes there. They're ranked 3rd overall in total defense. Like it's an incredible defensive. It's an incredible defensive team. I mean, they kind of picked up from where they left off last year. It's not like this is a surprise. They were a very good defensive team last year as well. So that's what you get the exciting. Like I just get excited watching them because it just reminds me of like that old school nitty gritty basketball that I used to love watching so much. Not so many flops, not so many all this crazy stuff and all these crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong. We still shoot the ball like, at the 3-point line. Franz Wagner had missed a bunch in the beginning. I think he was like 0 for 4 from the 3-point line, and then he just picked up steam and just
he looked and he said,
but
I
to talk
understand it
about
now.
but to talk about the testament of defense, that was like the key points that I heard today listening to different shows and stuff, was talking about the Nuggets and the Wolves defense declining over the last 2 years, and that now these teams are struggling because their defense isn't doing as well and they're not able to outscore. That's the problem. So when your defense falls behind, there's only one other option: outscore.
Well, it's because every year these teams, they take one player away that they think they don't need. Oh, okay. Well, we don't need so-and-so, and then we don't need him, and soon you're like, okay, you only kept your top 3 guys, and then the rest of your team is just like people who you think will fill that void, but they won't. They just don't work in that system. And that's literally the story here. I mean, the Wolves getting rid of Karl Anthony Towns, like, there is a conversation to be had about Gobert not being as good of a defensive player as everybody says he is. I mean, he's winning awards for it, but at the same time, his stats don't speak higher than some other players in the league. Anthony Davis was a better defender than him last year, and somehow I think Gobert still won Defensive Player of the Year.
I think we can all literally agree that the worst defensive player in the fucking NBA is Luka.
Okay, well, probably true. I mean, there's probably somebody worse, but the most notable name that's horrible is probably Luka. Yeah,
Luka.
Poor Luka. But I mean, when you're first and you're holding teams to 102 points, and then you're scoring 106 points per game, I mean, I don't know how more black and white that can get. The Magic are just going to be winning ball games as long as they keep that up.
Yeah. I love them. I love watching them play, man. I can't wait to go to a home game and get to watch them play, man. It's gonna be fun. Still got to figure it out, but like I said, we won't revisit that until after the holidays, man. Gotta spend a lot of money here in these next few couple of months. So, no, but it should be. So you look at hands down, easy. Next up for the Magic, I think it'll be a good test, and everybody's the Bulls, but they are now with Lonzo. He is coming back, finally back. See how well he plays after the wrist injury. Poor guy's been injury prone. It's been an injury disaster for him his whole career. I hate it because I like the ball boys. They're Dad, not so much, but the boys themselves, yeah, I like them. So I hope he can put something together, man. But should be an interesting test. No, nevertheless, I think we should be able to win that soundly.
I think Orlando takes that pretty easily. I don't think the Bulls have enough firepower to outlast that Orlando Magic defense.
No, not at all.
Speaking of the Bulls, off topic, but did y'all see that stat about Chicago sports teams records this year?
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
God awful. I mean, I would hate being a Chicago a sports fan right now.
Everything in Chicago is a dumpster fire. Not tonight though. The Bulls currently up 75-55 against the Wizards.
Well, they're playing the Wizards.
Y'all don't be disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't piss off. Don't piss off a whole fan base.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is going to games at Capital One Arena suck.
Yeah.
Everything's overpriced there. Everything is just
Chicago-Ridian.
What? Chicago-Ridian.
Like a Floridian, but a Chicago-Ridian. There is somebody that I want to talk about real quick. Coming back is seeing what the Lakers do against a Suns team, and it's tonight, so I might jump on that game and watch it. See what they can do with the Suns team that's restocked and ready to go, and they lose to these Suns. All of a sudden, they drop. They'll drop significantly. They can potentially drop to 7th place. The Lakers really quick, losing to these Suns. LeBron James, last game against Denver, struggled hard with 18 points. Only came out of the game with 18 points. I mean, he played 35 minutes. It wasn't like playtime was an issue.
He was on the court. They're his kryptonite right now.
Out of the last 5 games, he's kind of been up and down a little bit, man. Spurs, he was at 15 points. Pelicans, he only scored 21. Utah 26. Then the Orlando Magic, he had 31. So there you go. There's back to normal LeBron-esque kind of thing. And then against Denver, 18. So can he have a good bounce back game after not doing so well against Denver? And like you said, it's his kryptonite.
For real, I I don't get it. But maybe it's the fact that Anthony Davis has to play a position that he's not accustomed to. I know the Lakers talked about it, I think this week or last week, how they want to get a true big man. And this is something that I talked about like a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
If they did that, how much pressure it would take off Anthony Davis and how much greater of a player he'd be. And he's already playing
that
great.
Been his role the entire time he's been in the NBA?
No, because he was always a power forward,
He's a
especially when he
He's
was
a
on the
forward.
Pelicans, and he.
Okay. I didn't know what he was with the Pelicans.
Yeah, he came into the league as a forward.
I knew he came into the league as a forward, but I thought because how he was playing center, like
they have no option. You have to. He's defensively, he's one of the greatest players, if not the greatest defensive player in the NBA in terms of rim protection. You have to use him as that 5 unless you have a solid 5. And one of the key components to the Lakers winning their last championship was the fact that they had Dwight Howard, which Dwight likes to call himself the Jokic stopper, which he did. He did really great of guarding Jokic, and that frees up Anthony Davis. When you take those two apart, now Anthony Davis can work separately, and it's like, well, who's going to hold Anthony Davis?
Right.
Yeah.
So if you have a guy like Dwight,
not many fours are going to be able to go up against him like that.
Yeah. So should have just kept Dwight Howard.
No.
I would have. Even though,
Yeah.
Never.
No. Let's not get into that one.
It's a whole can of worms.
What else you got, brother? I got my last little segment here about the next, what? Yeah. Okay. Is that it? Is that everything?
That's everything I got.
I just have the one.
Go ahead, man.
At the end. I'll do that at the end. Go ahead and do your thing.
No. You finish it because the last one's going to be a question for the community, realistically, and for y'all.
Well, I was just gonna get into the All-Star tournament and how you guys feel about it. Do you want to have the traditional All-Star game, or do you like the idea of having this tournament?
I love.
Have you guys done any research?
I love the East versus West, and I've heard, and I forget exactly what their new idea was to have it like separated into like 4 teams or something like that. Listen, just keep it East and West. There just has to be some incentive to get these players to play. And if they're not going to play, then they don't need to be in the game. I'm sorry. LeBron James, as much as I want to see you in the All-Star game, if you're going to play 8 minutes, please just let somebody else play who wants to play more minutes. I don't know. You have to incentivize it better.
Now, see, I was watching this thing. They were talking about like the players back then. They might not have went in there playing like it's the game 7 and everything's on the line, but they went out there for bragging rights. They went out there to play ball. They went out there and they still put 75-80% effort into it. They might have had some fun, like do shit, but now everybody just stands around and it's either a dunk or a 3-point shot, and that's it.
I like the new idea.
What is it again? Can you remind me? Because I forget if it was it was like 4 teams.
I'm pretty sure it's 4 teams play to 40.
Was it it's just like the captain's like the top player in that specific league or specific conference?
So I like it because it's going to draw more. In my opinion, it'll draw more of that competition edge, and they just got to have. I think they have to have a prize for the winner. They have to have a prize for the winner. They have to have something for them to want to win the game other than just the pride of their
trophy.
Conference.
So they get a trophy, get an MVP. I thought there was a small money incentive, but maybe not. Give them a large
So
money
essentially,
incentive.
it's 2 semifinal games up to 40 points, winners advance. Then the finals game is only up to 25 points. Quick burst competition, pickup ball less style. So it's like a pickup game. It's like a glorified pickup game.
Okay.
I think that'd be fun to watch.
Now, it's funny that you all talk about the competition aspect of it and trying to find a way to incentivize them because that's what they feel like. That's the reason why players don't care about it anymore. They don't care because they don't come in there to try to compete against each other. They don't care about the bragging rights.
They don't
It's a
want to get
different
injured.
generation of players. Well, it's a different generation of players. They don't have that same competitive heart where it's more about I beat you, I did this to you. Those players nowadays don't have that same grit. And not only that, but because it is just dunks and 3-point shots like that, it's also lost the interest of the fans. They said that the All-Star games viewership has dropped. So they're doing the
doesn't surprise me.
to not only bring back competition in the players, but to also bring interest from the fans. That's why they're doing multiple tournaments.
I love watching it. I do. I watch it every year. And I can completely understand why people don't like to find it interesting because it's like the same shit. But for me, I like seeing Stephen Curry take 50-point shots or 50 footers like on a consistent basis. You know, I love seeing LeBron get this wide open, like, oh, what is he gonna do now? Or alley oop from him to Giannis or something like that. Like I love seeing that kind of stuff. But
but the problem is when they do it, it's just the whole game. Like, because that happened, back then, but it was like more sporadic and spontaneous. Now with the All-Star game, it's every fucking play. So it's just like, okay.
But what about the dunk contest?
I like the dunk. I like the dunk. No, I like how it is.
It's just been so miserable.
Terrible. It's been terrible.
Ever since Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine stopped going.
Yeah.
Horrible. By the way, Aaron Gordon, a Magic alumni, was robbed by far.
Oh yeah, in the dunk contest.
Yes, 100%.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Zach LaVine, that's no disrespect to you, but Aaron Gordon, between the legs over the mascot, was by far my favorite dunk of all time, even counting Vince Carter's crazy windmill. Still my favorite dunk of all time was Aaron Gordon's. But the dunk contest is just boring too. 3-point contest is honestly the most entertaining thing that happens during the weekend.
But you know what? I don't know what happened because even if you can jump over to the NFL, even like the All-Star weekend for that, it's just like.
But they compared it to that. They were saying even with the NFL, like the players got to the point where they, like you said, they didn't want to get hurt. They don't really compete to the point where they just said, "Fuck it, let's just do skill games."
Yeah,
and they're still like it's still like
to the point where it's like stupid. Like they do fucking dodgeball and stuff.
Oh, dodgeball is actually kind of like it's been cool to watch the last couple of years.
No, if I want to watch dodgeball, I'll go watch dodgeball. I want to watch football players.
Watch dodgeball.
What?
Is there a place you could just watch dodgeball?
If you could dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
The movie.
I drink my own urine in the morning.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I probably haven't watched the All-Star football weekend game week in fucking 8 years.
Yeah, it's been.
I'll be honest, I forgot they even happened.
I don't watch.
It's been a minute.
So I mean, we still got to do it. It's here in Orlando.
I mean, it'd be cool.
No, we got to do it this year.
But I'll run this clip about Perkins talking about his reason why he thinks that the game has switched to this, and the reason why I'm playing it is because it ties into a lot of what we have said in previous episodes about the players being soft, about the mentality of players now, and I just thought it was a pretty interesting take by him.
Oh yeah,
the problem with the league, and Adam Silver, in my opinion, is the best commissioner in sports. If anybody feel otherwise, we could debate that for another day. He has done everything in his power to make guys compete, right? You think about over the past 5 seasons, the problem is this. Let me say this. This generation of players are spoiled and soft, okay? Adam Silver in the NBA has put in the in-season tournament, they put in the play-in tournament, and now they're reconstructing the All-Star game, right? Because guys are not competing. And it is an indictment on all the players. It has nothing to do with the people that's in the front office at the NBA and Adam Silver. When you think about just this season alone, I done heard Jay Kidd call his players out early in the season in the press conference for not competing. I done heard J.J. Redick, he just called the Lakers out, said the spirit was there, the lack to compete was there. I done heard so many coaches call their players out about competing that it's a damn shame. So when you hear former players complaining, it's because they're disrespecting the former players that laid it out for the guys today to be getting paid 30, 40, 50, 60 million dollars, and they're not doing what they're supposed to do so the next generation could get paid those type of dollars. This is why fans don't want to watch the NBA, because they know guys are not going to compete. One more thing. It's another thing why they got rules in place. 65 games you have to play in order to qualify for certain
MVP.
Certain you're right. Why do you have that? Because NBA. Guys are sitting out. It's a problem, man. Guys are soft and spoiled.
I just thought everything that we have said, he summed it up in 2 minutes. They're fucking spoiled, they're soft, and nobody wants to compete. This is the reason why viewership is down.
It's frustrating because when you make that point, right? Like when I made that point, because the dude literally listened to my take and he just copied it. no, but what I'm about to go sue his ass. No, I'm just kidding. When I made those same exact things, I was called, I don't know what I'm talking about, like people just jumping down my throat about it.
So I'm just sitting there. Basketball in high school?
Right. Hey, are you a player? Did you play? Or do you know?
Are you in the NBA?
Right. It's just like it's just I watch, right? You just watch the game and you just see how the game has evolved to, and you just sit there and it's frustrating because you get these fans, these delusional fans. I'm gonna call y'all delusional when you don't think that the game is not the same.
It's not.
Look, it's not the same. There's no defense, and when I talk about Luka, and I don't mean to, he's just it's just a guy. Ladies and gentlemen, disclosure here. I'm just using him as an example because I saw something on him. He plays horrible defense. He doesn't even try. And if we had the clip, I hope you, please find a clip of him not playing defense, and you'll see it's not good. There's no effort there. There's no effort behind the defensive play. You lose that. So that's why I truly, 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 truly enjoy, and I hate going back to them. Not that I hate. I love going back to them. The Magic. It's fun basketball. It's guys that really care. It's guys that are giving maximum effort. But man, it's like you give a take, and because I don't have a fancy suit on and I'm sitting in my apartment, my take is crazy and ridiculous. Makes sense. Why do you have your hands like that?
This is my desk.
Oh. Let me fix my tie.
Two more things. I hope I can remember both the points I just had in my head because I was trying to really focus on what you were saying. The first thing is I think we should change the 65-game rule. I think we should bump it up. Let's make it 75 games or 70 games. No, let's make it 72 games. You get 10 nights off. And that should be if. You should be playing 82 games a season. You're a basketball player. This is what you do. People are begging to play 82 games. People are begging to play one game. You should not, besides injury and everything like that, I think there should be a clause for that. But like legitimate injuries.
I think
10 games.
It is absolutely horrendous that even has to be a thing.
I agree.
Exactly. I think it is absolutely horrendous, ridiculous, whatever you want to say, that they have to make a rule specifically for that, because the amount of players that were abusing it and saving themselves for the NBA.
Joel Embiid.
I mean, playoffs. Like what?
Kawhi Leonard.
Your king did it too.
No, he would never.
Okay. Yeah.
He
You
would
might
never
want
do
to
that.
cough and say his name too.
LeBron.
Gargles.
And the other thing is, what if we just started cutting salaries? Stop fucking paying these players this much
Well,
money.
then you're gonna get a whole load
many.
of holdouts.
Fuck 'em.
No, because at the end of the day, most of these guys have already made the paycheck. So realistically, how much are you going to find them? 100,000? Cool.
No, I'm saying start reeling back these salaries. Stop paying these guys $100 million contracts for 4 years, and then
We had the same discussion about football too.
games a season.
Yeah,
we had the same discussion. It's about sports across the map.
They already get paid.
I think it's crazy that there's. I don't know. Matt, you know this better than me. I was talking to a guy that talks about baseball, and there was a player that is potentially going to be in the billion for his contract. And obviously, it's over like a long period of time. But that's for players to get paid 10 years after they're done retired. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one player or one team that really fucked that up. That was the Baltimore Orioles paying what's his name? Chris Davis.
Easy when you talk about Baltimore, right?
Hey,
pump it back a little bit.
Hey, reminder, I'm a Yankees fan, so
but
they paid Chris Davis a shit ton of money, and after that, he absolutely tanked. He was god awful, and I'm surprised that he was able to stay in this league. He was awful.
It's just crazy. I mean, it's almost like almost every player follows that trend.
Ben? What up, Ben?
They bust their ass until they get that paycheck, and then it's like, all right.
What about a salary clause then? Just like how they did Zion with his weight. What if they did a salary clause like you have to play a specific amount of games, or you're not getting paid your full amount?
I don't know if limiting the money on these guys is going to do anything because they're already in the millions. You know what I'm saying? They're already making that money.
Do you have?
I don't know. I don't know what you can do at that point. That's the frustrating thing. That's where you're at because dudes want to sit out to rest themselves, but you got fans that show up to a game. They spent their hard-earned money because let's be real, that's who makes you fucking money. And all of a sudden, a guy like Anthony Davis is sitting out because he wants to rest his feet, right? You go to show up to a game, and a guy like Anthony Edwards is sitting out because he's tired. You know what I'm saying?
That would never happen.
But I'm just saying, it's just it's one of those things. It's frustrating that they have to set up a whole rule to stop these dudes from doing that. What if they would have never made that rule? It would have been abused heavily.
100%.
And now everybody's like, oh, I'm going to play all 82 games. Well, you haven't in fucking years. Don't try and be high and mighty now.
And then you tear your body up, and then you're really in a hole.
How do you compare a player that's played 82 games with, say, he averages 27 points per game, but then you have a player who's played 50 games and he's averaging 40? The margins are so off.
It should have an asterisk next to the name. It should have the asterisk.
Agreed.
Definitely.
Well, I think one of the major issues of the NBA right now is there's no face of the league. There's no face of the league. If you try and tell me, hey, who's the face of the league? Who's the star? You're going to get about 1,000 different answers. It's crazy. Some people still say LeBron. Some people are going to say this person. Some people are going to say that person.
Kevin Durant. I mean, there's guys.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with shortening the season.
Too short. Way too short.
There's too much basketball. They're lazy and they're soft. It has nothing to do with the season. Players had far less technology, medical advances, and played the entire season. And they were
this is the problem with the NBA right now, and I'm gonna say this, and I will die on this fucking hill. Is allowing 10 teams from each fucking conference to come in.
Agreed.
Too much.
I like
is the only to me, that is my only reason there's too many stars coming into the league because of the one and done. I mean, that is true, but nevertheless, you allow 10 teams from each conference. That is the top 20 teams. What is this? College basketball, March Madness? What are we doing here? Okay. There's no reason for competition until you get to that point. You allow 10 teams, it makes it, thank you, Ben, I appreciate it. You make it to where you don't have to really try. Just be within contention. Just stay close. Just stay close to the top 10. If you're one of the teams from 11 to 15, as long as you're right there knocking at the door at number 10, you're chilling.
Fair point.
None of these games realistically matter until you get to that conference championship crap thing they have.
Especially, they don't matter until after All-Star break.
Right.
Realistically.
So my point is here, we went back to this, is who is the next face of the NBA? I got a couple of guys here. I'd like to hear from the community here. Whoever's in here, shout out. Hey, we appreciate y'all, man. This beautiful Tuesday evening, man. It's Thanksgiving Eve.
Yeah.
Can I throw a hat in the ring?
What's up?
Bronny James.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Kick him off the show.
You're lucky I don't have my soundboard done yet. That's something I'm working on my soundboard. That's gonna get you something crazy.
Hey, even though y'all don't use these, hey, you get one. You got your first flag.
Hey, that reminds me.
First flag.
You know what's crazy? I ordered mine on Amazon and it said it was delivered, but I never got the fucking package.
Damn, it got stolen. Imagine somebody opening that and they see that it's
stole some football.
Imagine somebody opening that and then seeing it's some flags. Like, what the? All right, but
you know what? That shit got thrown into a fire. They're like,
hell yeah, it got thrown away immediately. So I tried to find guys that are in that anywhere 25 and younger, right? I try to find guys that are we can say iconic-ish, kind of have a name to themselves already. People that are doing stuff, even really young guys, and we can bounce it around and we can just see. So right now, Anthony Edwards is kind of like the top guy I would put at that list at the age of 23 right now. You got LaMelo Ball at the age of 23 as well. Ja Morant at 25, so he's right at that cusp of getting out of my 25 and younger. Franz Wagner, I think, should be kind of in there. The way he's been playing, he's kind of a star. He's showing up. He's at 23. Luka at the age of 25. And Paolo Banchero at the age of 22, the youngest on this list. If there's anybody else y'all can think about, and I just kind of want to hear everybody's thoughts on it. We don't have to make that decision today. I think we should put a poll out and see. And if there's somebody I'm missing, go. Hey, don't come at me. These are the people that I just thought off the top of my head, who I think could possibly be up there.
So when you're looking at face of the NBA, obviously there's three guys that are standouts: MJ, Kobe, LeBron. Right? Let's take those out. Do we count players like Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Giannis? Do these players count because they had their short spurts of like being really like the guy, or at least they're kind of in LeBron's era, and LeBron is still like a bigger face than them.
Yeah, I would say it's like with like when Kobe, right? Kobe was him. He had people that were there. You had, oh my God, wow, his name just escaped me. Spurs.
Tony Parker.
No, yeah, Duncan. Like you had supplemental people around the league, and I think that's what you can kind of consider like Curry and those guys that you all mentioned. They're kind of like supplemental, but the guy that reigned supreme over, like was like the face of it for the most of the duration is LeBron. So,
okay,
you can throw like Carmelo in there.
No, because Carmelo would fall into that same category.
As much as I love Melo, he's one of my favorite players. Like I said, I literally was the reason why I started watching the NBA, like really watching it, and I followed him wherever he went. I would never put him as the face of the league, though.
Don't forget about
he was a great scorer, but other than that, I would never have done that.
Don't forget about D Wade.
D Wade, Hall of Famer, one of my favorite players ever.
But never
I wouldn't even consider
never the face.
Never.
Really?
But never the face.
Shaq?
No.
Never the face.
No.
Shaq?
No, I wouldn't say Shaq.
No, I don't think even Shaq, because Shaq was under Kobe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Shaq was great.
Winning the MVP.
He was great, but yeah.
Yeah, but when you think about it, you thought about Kobe during that era.
It's because nobody respects the big man. Come on.
Well, look, so
that is a sad
to me,
reality.
two people that are kind of iffy on this list, I would say three. And this is a list I made. I just put it all together real quick. John Morant, Franz Wagner, and Luka. I think the three of them, Morant with his off stuff issues and kind of attitude issues. Luka, same thing, and Luka not playing really defense. He's not, I don't know. And then Franz, he's just having like his hot year right now. See what he can do. But the three that I would say are like top dog. I would put Paolo in there because he's shown his spurts of greatness. Let's read this. Let's take that.
Problem with determining the face of the league is that LeBron, Kobe, Durant, Curry all came in prior to social media taking over. Now that you can see the highlights of every player, it makes special plays from 10 to 15 years ago seem like a regular play. Well said.
I agree. It's a bit of oversaturation now. Because this is controversial, and I'm not saying I agree, and I'm not trying to take credit away from this person when I say this. But somebody was highlighting the fact that those same, legendary clips of Michael Jordan that you see, a lot of the guys are able to replicate those moves on a nightly basis. And it's like, okay, you have to think about context, but I see it. Like it
it's
is
like that with everybody, like anybody.
But I know, but it's just like, but that's the thing. It's like it's oversaturation. Of course, it's going to be replicated. I mean, they watch the clips, and now it's like you see every single highlight that happens in a night, like every single one.
But here's the thing. The thing is, if once you do something, everybody wants to do it, right? How many times did you sit in your driveway, dribbling the ball? 3 seconds in your head and counting it down, and you go and shoot that fadeaway shot to win the game.
But
right?
How many times? That's the same thing. Like, oh, he grabbed the rebound.
I grabbed the rebound. There's still 1 second, and you miss again, and you're just like, "Oh shit, I suck at basketball."
That's the same thing we were talking about. That's the same thing we were talking about with that Grand Slam in the World Series. Like every kid had that same fantasy, like,
right? But the thing is,
everybody does it.
The thing is. Yeah, of course. I would hope people are doing what Michael Jordan did. But Michael Jordan was doing it before anybody else did in his time.
A trendsetter.
Right, exactly. Just like Kobe. He was doing things that people weren't doing in his time. LeBron is doing things that he isn't doing in his time. I hope LeBron has created a standard where players get to last longer. People should study it. People should see it. And work on that craft.
I feel like another factor then of the face of the NBA is like an overall package that can't be replicated. Nobody could do exactly what Michael did. Nobody can win 6 championships and go undefeated in the finals anymore. Nobody can go 3 years, take a year off, come back and win 3 more years in a row. Like the people can't do that. People can't be Kobe Bryant, who could literally take over a game by himself and just shoot the fuck out of the ball. And like nobody can get away with not passing the ball first. You can't do that in today's league. And then nobody could be as athletic as LeBron James. Like he's a freak. Like, and his basketball mind is just uncomparable. Like his IQ of basketball is unreal. Like there's stuff like the whole package of those 3 guys is so hard to replicate. And I think that's what really sets them apart.
I think it goes past that even. I think that also your mentality has a lot to do with you being the face too. If you don't have that champion, like, I don't give a shit, I'm going to make sure I get what I want mentality, like, I'm going to get it, I'm going to win that championship, and have that fight. That's the problem. A lot of players in the league don't even have that anymore. So, like, the Kobe's and the Michaels.
So, do you think there will ever be another face of the franchise by the way that the players have starting to become? by the way this
Oh, yeah.
take is by what our boy just said prior to the video.
I think.
Do you think we can
once
get
LeBron
another
retires-
person? Do you think we can get another person that's gonna be a Kobe, a LeBron, a Michael, whoever else you want to throw in that circle?
I
Once
think
LeBron
yes,
retires,
but
you
I
have
don't
to have
think
a fan favorite.
I don't think that we might have to have a fan favorite, but I don't think that we have the player in the league yet that's going to be
There's
the
not
new
gonna-
face.
There's
That's
not going to be
also
a goat. There's not going to be another goat.
Also fair.
They haven't entered the league yet. I think there's going to be somebody that comes along who's going to be something special. I mean, obviously NBA players are all special. I mean, obviously they're talented, but just that standout, I don't think we have it in the league yet.
What about Victor
If
Wembanyama?
we did, everybody would be saying his name. You know what I mean? Like you kind of know, like you know, Kobe, you know LeBron. Like even before now, speaking during their peak in their prime, you knew it. Like they are dominant.
Were you joking about Victor? Or are you being serious?
No, I was being serious.
No, yeah, it's a great pick. I that was somebody that was going to put on that short list as well, but I didn't know because he's a Spurs player, and people have really stopped paying attention to Spurs.
Spurs have some legendary players on their roster,
but he's averaging 23 points a game. He's averaging 10 rebounds, not just so many assists, but he's pretty good. He's a pretty good baller. I mean, the kid plays really good ball. So I think we should put up a little list here. Do we add Victor? Do we keep the list? I think we take out Franz Wagner. We put Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, John Morant, Victor. I'm not trying to say his last name because I will butcher the hell out of it.
Just Wemby.
Luka, and Paolo.
Is it bad to say I want to take out LaMelo Ball as well? I don't think he has it in him to be that
Really?
face of the league. No disrespect to him. I think he's a great player, but I don't see him being face of the league.
Who would you replace him with?
I think the other four guys is perfect enough. I mean, Anthony Edwards. I feel like there's some a little bit older guys that could be in there. I feel like John Morant has a fair case. He's got to keep it basketball, man. Even like a couple of nights ago when they played the Lakers, he's sitting on the bench and he's still pointing guns at Anthony Davis, and it's like, dude, well, you're probably the worst person to do that. Like, it's a maturity thing. But Anthony Edwards, Luka, Paolo is definitely, I think, a great choice, especially with how young he is.
I would even what I've been thinking.
Trae Young. I don't know. I don't think he's young.
No, he has too many conduct. He's like
Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum is 26. So he falls out of that 25-year-old range.
Yeah, but he could still he's still not old.
He's too corny though. I don't think people don't want to follow him. You know what I'm saying? Like once, okay. So here's the thing. I thought about it. No, I legitimately thought about adding him, right? But then once they won and he did all that corny ass shit and people clowned him for it, immediately, yes, exactly. We did it. And then posing like the Kobe, like up against the wall with his leg, like what, dude? Stop all. So and people were like, "Okay, this is bad." Now, if it was a different take and people were like, "No, this is great, hell yeah," I'm like, "Okay, that was somebody I would have considered," but no, I don't think so.
No, everybody saw right through that shit. They're like, "All right, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
Then he got butthurt about the Olympics too.
It's true.
Yeah.
What about Jalen Brunson?
Jalen Brunson. How old is
New York Knicks?
Jalen Brunson. I don't know how old he is though.
I believe he's pretty young.
Tyler Hero. Nah, he's nobody.
No, he's no offense.
I would say Zion. I would say Zion if he had another chance with another team.
I don't think he can. I don't think he does. He's too quiet. You don't hear from him ever.
Well, because he plays on the Pelicans. That's why.
No, it doesn't matter. You still got to put up numbers. You know what I'm saying? You still got to be relevant. See, this is the thing. You got to. The thing is you got to find somebody that's making a difference in basketball, right? You got to find somebody that's constantly doing like great stuff. Don't get me wrong, his numbers aren't terrible. He's like averaging 22 points a game or 23. He's probably got close to 10 rebounds, but like
when he's playing
though, and that's like the other thing. Your face of the franchise can't be sitting on the bench all the time.
Okay, Jalen Brunson.
Michael Jordan isn't going to be the face of the franchise if he was sitting out all his games. Motherfucker played a game and he had people say he was either drunk, hungover, or he had the flu, right? So it doesn't matter. He still played. He was visibly fucking sick. Kobe Bryant isn't the face of the franchise if he's sitting out half of his games. Early LeBron,
LeBron was his whole finger, popped it back in, and kept playing.
Yeah, LeBron didn't miss games. Later, LeBron started missing games.
Well, second year Cleveland, LeBron didn't miss games either. He was that dude, especially playoff times. Probably.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like Laker era Browns.
Yeah, Laker era Bron is different. That's where he started to skip games because his health caught up to him. I mean, he had like a flawless record almost up until then.
So I really want to see, to jump back to LeBron, I want to see how he does tonight. If he has another low scoring game, are we concerned?
No, I don't think we're concerned because especially against a tough team, I don't even think he has a low scoring game. I think he's got two back-to-back tough games. He's got the Suns and the Spurs tomorrow. So be interesting to see. Yeah, I mean, any of those teams could really win.
So
good basketball.
I think that's it. I mean, look for the poll to come up. We'll be talking, face of the franchise. If you guys are in here, if you guys want to talk about it, just message us. Even if we move on, man, we'll always bounce back to it. Face of the franchise. You guys heard it here. Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, John Morant, Luka, Paolo, and anybody else? Victor.
Wemby.
Victor. We'll put Victor in there. We'll put a poll up. Y'all vote on it, man. We'll see what the people think, what the people want to see. I mean, we'll even put none. We'll put a none section. Actually,
what about Stephen Curry?
Yeah, okay, not that.
Does he not get that? I mean,
put an other option. I'm sure we'll get a bunch of answers.
Right.
Honestly, I think that if we were just talking about overall, yes, but if we're talking about 25 and under, that would be obviously no. But I mean, I agree with you. And I brought him up the last time we talked about this because he literally changed the game.
He's the guy who cost LeBron championships too.
3-pointers were not as big as they were until Curry came along and made
now he's ruined the game with them,
for better or worse.
Yeah, and now the game's ruined.
He made it the cool thing. You know what I mean? So like, he did make an impact on the game. So we were talking about LeBron retiring and Curry still being, he would technically probably be that guy. But if we're talking young players trying to find the next icon to be the face, then obviously he won't fall in the category.
I'm going with Ant.
So I think
gotta go with Ant, man.
That would be the only thing. Like if we change it, when we do the wording, it's going to have to state that it's about the younger up and coming players.
Yeah,
not just overall.
Yeah, because Curry's he was born the same year I was born, 36. He's 36 years old.
Same hospital as LeBron James as well. Kind of weird.
Crazy. So
right.
I mean, that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, if you're spending your Tuesday evening with us, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. This is No Rules, Just Sports, your favorite, and we like to think it's the best sports podcast out in the land. If you're hanging with us, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. Make sure you're subscribing to all of our channels. We are on all of social media platforms you can think of: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and we are big on TikTok as well. We're trying to get our TikTok live going here within the next couple of weeks. Other than that, we appreciate all your interaction within the community.
Honestly, that TikTok's on me. If I had faster internet, we'd be on.
You're good, man. Your day. Hey, man. We're all together.
We ain't stressing about it.
Hey, we're still up and growing. The TikToks, honestly, the TikToks kind of goes, it kind of goes up and down. It goes in waves. TikTok algorithm is we talked about it. It's kind of sketchy sometimes. There'll be some good viewership, bad viewership. So
now I want to give a shout out to my boy Damien, man. Thank you for another good basketball segment. Spent an hour and 20 minutes talking about some basketball.
Oh yeah.
We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you coming on the show, brother. I hope you have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. I'll see you on Friendsgiving on Friday.
Yes, sir.
King Roosa, everybody.
We
Thank you,
appreciate
guys.
you, brother.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Happy
Yes,
Thanksgiving
sir.
to everybody who's watching.
Hey, brother. Happy Thanksgiving. Be safe, all right?